Hey y'all, it's me, Joanna, the owner and creator at Joanna's DIY Life. Today I am in day 6 of the collaboration of the 12 Days of Christmas with host Brenda at Rustic and Lace DIY, and the other host is Jackie at Crafting and Mimi's World, and we are doing gingerbreads. Make sure you check them out in my description box and the entire playlist so you can be inspired for this Christmas season. Now, let's get started. Okay, I have 2 projects, but for the first one, I'm going to use this big Amazon envelope. I've seen these all over and I wanted to create one myself, so here we go. So I've got a paper, and it's just a printable. It's a free printable. You can get them kids free color pages and stuff like that. You just Google it. And I just printed it. I sized it and printed it. You can do it in Canva, Google Docs, I don't know, whatever. I do mine in my Silhouette Studio because that's the way I do it. But I'm just going to take this pencil because I will be able to see the graphite pencil on top of that black. So I have it like this, okay? And I am going to turn it inside out. But before I do that, I'm going to cut it with some little squiggly scissors. I'll show you. Okay, so I took these scissors and cut it. When I wanted to show you the footage, it was the wrong footage, and then I didn't have it. But anyway, you see how it's jagged? These were kid scissors. I've had them forever and a day. So yeah, so now I'm just going to match these back up because I wanted that squiggle line, okay? And then I'm going to use my Dollar Tree clips, and I'm going to clip it in the top portion, and I'm going to leave the bottom open, and I'm going to take my hot glue gun. Just all I'm going to do is my hot glue gun, and I'm going to go around the edge, just catching a little bit around the edges and smash it down. And I'm going to do this all the way around my gingerbread, except I'm going to leave the head open. Okay, so now I'm going to take this batting and I'm going to shred this batting. You can use pillow stuffing, you can use a paper bag, you can use a plastic bag, whatever you want. And I'm just going to take this paintbrush, makeup brush, whatever, and stuff it down in there. And I'm going to stuff every bit of this, just poking it down in, trying to get it even as I can until I get to the top, and then I close it. And you can see there that it's closed. Now I'm going to take matte Mod Podge and a fan brush, and I'm going to start Mod Podging all over this. And then I'm going to sprinkle cheap Walmart cinnamon all over it and tap it off, okay? Then when I get that done, I am going to make sure it's dry, and I'm going to go over it with Mod Podge to seal all of the cinnamon down in there and just mix it up a bit, okay? That's all I'm going to do. I will not do the back, I'm just doing the front. Once that's dry, it is dry, it's just shiny. I'm going to take a white, this is not a Posca pen, this is a, I forget what it is, some kind of marker, creative marker, and I'm just going to go around. It's going to give it just a light look. That looked like his heart's beating, I don't know. But anyways, I'm just going to make squiggly lines all the way around this little guy with this white pen. You can use a paint pen, you can use the puff paint, whatever you choose. This is just, I grabbed it. I was in a hurry and I found it and grabbed it. So that's what I'm using. And the reason I didn't do the back is because I didn't want to waste my cinnamon. You're not going to see it. It's going to be hanging. So yeah. So once I get that, then I'm going to take my black Sharpie marker. Okay, Sharpie paint pens. Sharpie acrylic thingies. And then I'm going to draw my face. And it's very hard to see. So I go over it a couple times to darken it in. And then I'm going to take, I have a pink one, and I'm going to do a nose. And I do this, and then it did not show up. So I'm going to go over it with white. I wipe it back, and I'm going to make a white nose. And I was wondering, would you have done white icing on the face? Let me know if you would have put white icing on the face. And then that way I color over it with pink, and it shows up. And then I'm going to get my worn lipstick, and I'm going to put cheekies on this guy. Yeah, cheek. That stuff is bright and big, but it's cute. It's cute. So there he is. All right. Now, I'm going to take this. This is a piece of muslin fabric. And then that other is cheesecloth. I buy the cheesecloth at Walmart. It's in a package in the sewing section. Or the crafting, sewing, yeah, sewing part. So I'm going to just cut these off, making strings, and I'm going to make a ragged bow. And with that, all you're doing is layering these as close to the same size as you can. They ain't got to be perfect, honestly. And I'm going to crisscross them to make a raggedy bow, and then I'm going to get, these are coffee stained too. I coffee stained these. And then I'm going to get a piece of dark muslin and rip it, and I'm going to make a bow with it, a double bow. Actually, I make 2 bows with it and then pile them on top of each other. And all it is the cancer awareness, and then you scrunch it in the middle and make a bow. And that's what I'm going to do, because that right there did not make me happy. I wanted the bow part. So see how I done it? And I got this. I put a string through it. I used a needle and strung thread through it. And there's my double bow that I was telling you about. And I just push that real firmly down in there and smush it all together. And then, y'all, this thing is the cutest little thing. I am not even kidding. So I'm going to fray my edges because I forgot to do that. Okay, right here, I'm just taking that white pen, and I'm making my dots in my eyes, a little line across the nose, and then I was like, let's do something to the cheeks. So I put little white freckles, which I honestly don't even know if the little dots showed up later, because I don't remember, but we'll find out in the final reveal. So I will, what am I doing? Oh, sorry, I was talking to my sister. Okay, I have this spoon. I already painted it white. They're these right here from Hobby Lobby, the fall clearance. I grab them because I use them for the winter. So anyway, these skewers or whatever shish kebab things, I don't know what they are. They come from Hobby Lobby too, and they got little gingerbreads on them. And I'm gonna take the gingerbread off, and then I'm gonna take this and scrape it because you can see the stick, but I'm not worried about seeing the stick. I'm not gonna paint it or nothing, so it won't fit. There's a space between there. So I'm gonna take a piece of felt, and I'm gonna fold it, glue it, fold it, glue it, fold it, glue it, fold it, glue it, until I get it thick enough to put behind my gingerbread. And I'm not making a very big piece because you can see that little gingerbread is very skinny. So I'm just going to make a skinny little piece and put it back there and glue that down in there. Okay, so I got it glued in, and I'm trying to figure out where I want it now. But I don't want it that bright white. And I'm going to take my, walnut stain. And I'm going to stain around the spoon. And then I'm going to glue it catty-cornered right like that. And I'm going to use fabric tack and hot glue to glue that right there. Now, you don't want to mix your glues because if you do, they'll cancel one another out. So I'm going to put that down and then use those on the ends. And I ended up taking a fabric tack and tacking his hand to the spoon because I was afraid it was going to fall off. And you'll see that later because you'll see a Dollar Tree clip on there, okay? So that's why the clip is on there, is because I glued it the bottom and clipped it so it would hold it. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of this cheesecloth. I don't know why I had tied this in a knot. But anyways, I'm just going to clip a piece off. Small piece. Doesn't need to be much. And I'm just going to put that hot glue stick in my gun. Sorry, y'all. And I couldn't get the glue stick to go down. When you're in a hurry, nothing works, right? I'm running late. My video is going to be posted late. But anyway, I glue a rusty crusty bell that I had made down in the middle of the cheesecloth fabric, okay? See me wadding it up? And then I'm going to cut in between those to make it look like it is separated, not one piece of cheesecloth there. So y'all really don't necessarily have to see me snipping this, but I guess here we are, and we're killing it, ain't we, honey? Yep, I'm just a snipping and moving and wasting your time. So sorry. See where I got it clipped, where I glued it? I told you I had it clipped. All right, I'm pointing at him. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm talking about. I really don't. But, Lord, let me pass this. Okay, praise the Lord. We passed all that nonsense. Okay, I've got this ribbon from Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to cut me a piece and I'm going to fray my ends. Now, I did cut it a little longer than I wanted it because when you fray it, you're going to shorten it. Okay. So now I'm going to grunge that up with some walnut stain. You don't have to do that. And look, I found these little stamps and I didn't like any of them, so I'm not going to use them. But I'll show you what I did use. So I got this stamp from Hobby Lobby and I'm just going to press it twice. And you know what? I loved it. And I was going to leave it just like that. Wasn't going to put anything else on it. But it didn't matter. I covered it all up. I used a rub-on transfer. Man, those things were nice to transfer to fabric. Now I got this little peppermint thing I got out of my stash in the other room. And I'm going to use fabric tack and tack that right down in the corner. And then I'm going to take that needle right there with that string on it. And I'm just going to go in the corner. And I'm going to tie it. And then I am going to, I'm going to make a loop. And then I'm going to bring it up to the bottom, the tail of that bow. And then I'm going to pull it through tight. And I'm going to tie a knot in it. Okay? Just going to tie a knot in it. Simple little knot. Make sure if you do this, you have your string long enough to tie your knot. And then pull it down. And then I'm going to take a rusty, crusty safety pin whenever I figure out where I put them. I'm wiggling my fingers because my brain's trying to think. And it's a little bitty one. Little bitty rusty, crusty safety pin I made. And I am going to put that on there. And yeah. Oh my goodness. It's so cute. Okay. Now I'm going to get my... What am I doing? Okay. This is a greenery thing I bought at Hobby Lobby. And I am going to pull pieces off. I didn't buy it for what its intended purpose. I bought it because these were teeny tiny, and sometimes I need teeny tiny pieces, like in such cases as this. So yeah, so I'm going to stuff them on each side right there, because I think that's just cutesy and adds a little something, okay? So I'm going to stuff my greenery in here. Okay, once I got my greenery the way I liked it, I found these pit berries over yonder in my stash, and... they are on a wire. I got these at Hobby Lobby last year before, one of them years back in the back, days of mine. And I'm going to bend them in half, and I'm going to poke them in there and glue them in there, one on each side. And after that, I'm going to take my handy dandy crocodile, and I'm going to use the little hole punch, and I'm going to punch a hole right there, and then I'm going to punch a hole right there. This thing is amazing. It punches through anything almost. Then I got my rusty crusty wire that I borrowed from my husband, and he probably doesn't even know I got it, but if he ever asks where that wire is, I said, oh, I got some, I'll let you borrow it if you give it back, and then he'll never know. But anyway, so I took me a piece off there, and I'm gonna wind it around this. You can use a pencil. This is about the size of a pencil or a pen, and I'm gonna wind it around there. And then I'm going to spread it out just a little bit. And I'm going to take and poke my wire through there. That was not working. I thought we'll just get a little one. That wire is tough, thick wire. So that wasn't happening. So I had to get my little needle nose. Y'all, I got these at Lowe's. I do have a link down, when in my shop tab. You can get them easy peasy. I absolutely love these things. These or the mini ones work just great. I like the mini set, but this is just what I grabbed. But I'm going to put it on the very end, and I'm going to start turning, and I'm going to make a little loopy there, and then I'm going to smush it. I ended up smushing it together. I bent it out right there, but I ended up smushing it together. And then there you go. I'll show you in the final reveal him hanging up. Y'all, here we go with another one. This is going to be quick. I am loving these clay pot dolls. About like Craft Away with May with her terracotta teacups. I like my terracotta dolls. So I'm going to take this brown fabric and I'm going to smush it up and make a ball, put a rubber band around it to form a head, just like I did in Harriet the Snow Lady. And yeah. So see where I'm going with this? I'm going to make the head. And now when you do this and you put your rubber band on, you make sure your rubber band's tight, and you have to pull your fabric tight down your, around your rubber band. I'll show you. Like this right here. You're just forming and pulling to get as much of the wrinkles out as you can, okay? Stretching, pulling, stretching, pulling till you get a tight ball and get the wrinkles out, all right? Then I'm going to take a piece of felt, and because the other I used flannel, and I didn't use felt because I didn't feel the need, because flannel's kind of fuzzy and I knew it would stick. So I'm going to use felt because I'm not sure this material is going to stick very well. And I'm going to put a tremendous amount of hot glue on here, and I'm going to flip this terracotta pot over and put it down in the center of that. And then I'm going to smush that head down and hold it for a little bit to make sure that glue sets up. You know, it takes a minute. It's really hot. Okay, now I'm just going to take my pinking shears and I am going to try to trim and even this up just a little bit. You don't got to fuss with it too much because we're going to take, I wanted that one, but I was like, no, we're going to go traditional here. We're just going to go, yeah, we're not going rustic with her. So I'm going to take this peppermint fabric. I got this at Walmart last year. And I'm going to snip and rip 4 pieces. And then on the second part, you'll see what I'm talking about. I did 5 or 6 pieces. Okay. But for right now, I'm going to snip and rip 4 pieces. Then I'm going to fold them into thirds, I think. I fold it in half and then fold it in half again. And it's the perfect size. And when I get a few of them cut, I'm going to take them and I'm going to take this elastic, it's thin elastic, and I'm going to run it around, loop it, pull the strings through the loop. I'm making a little like tutu dress, and there's one run, but it showed too much brown and I didn't like it, so I made another one, okay? And I am going to tie this around, and all I do is put it around her neck. And then I pull that elastic really, really tight, okay? And this is going to secure my rubber band in case my rubber band snaps one day. So I'm going to tie this in 4 knots and then cut my elastic and then spread it out as even as I can possibly get it, okay? This is so stinking cute, all right? And then I'm going to keep fluffing. I'm going to trim this up too. Just a little bit. I got some that hang down longer, and that's just because when I pull, one goes longer than the other half the time. So I'm going to trim it up here. Look at her. I'm still going to fool with it. I'm running late, and I'm fooling with it like something crazy. Okay. Stop. All right. So I have this little hat. I rolled this fabric up. I forgot. This I did off camera because I don't know what I was thinking. But I just rolled this fabric and then hot glued it, cut it, and made 2 arms and shoved them up in there and glued them down. Now I got this little hat that I made last year or the year before. I found it in my stash. And I'm just going to put this around her head. She kind of looks like a mushroom, but it's cute. And then when I get it around where I want it, I'm going to take this and go around her head, y'all. I went around this with some puff paint because this went into the fabric and you couldn't see it anymore. These markers, I do not like those Sharpie markers. They are junk. I really don't like them. The black one's okay. The white one's terrible. So I'm going to put this on her head, and then I'm going to glue the front, and then I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to tack the back down as well so that I know it don't slip off her head. Then I'm going to take these little black plastic tacks. I don't even know where I got them. And I'm going to poke holes in this, and I'm going to insert those plastic tacks right in there. And I'm going to put some glue in there to hold those tacks in there so they don't slip back out. Y'all, my camera shut off, and I didn't know. So, okay, I'm going to explain what I did, okay? So, there he is. And he is so adorable. I love this little wall hanging. The cinnamon is perfect. I know it's dark in here, but there you could see the transfer a little better. The closer I get, the better he looks. And then there's my little rusty crusty bells and my safety pin, my button. There he is. Oh, he's so cute. He's adorable. Okay, now listen. On the little one, I went in my stash on the little doll, okay? And I had some ornaments that I had got from Walmart. and used pieces of. So I took her hand and I wrapped it around a coffee cup. I put a bow on her head. I put a cookie in her hand. Okay, and I just glued it to her hand and to the fabric so it wouldn't come off. There's her little face. She kind of looks like a pig. And then I put some greenery in there. Look at her little pig nose. Ain't it funny? I need to get that white spot off her head. I didn't know I had a white spot on her head. I must have hit it with my finger, or that bow hit it or something. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, she's just cutesy cutesy. I love them. Tell me what y'all think. Y'all don't forget to check out everybody in the playlist and the hosts, Jackie and Brenda, okay? And everybody's video. And until next time, remember, you are a blessing. Goodbye.